Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Will and DeShaun show, and I am DeShaun.
And I am Will.
And today we got Tony in the house. Every now and then we bring a friend in and have them express themselves about our different topics. Say hello, Tony.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Tony's back for a second podcast. He trying to become the third co-host, but we ain't having it.
Yeah.
You ain't having it because I need to be paid, okay?
Well, we got to get paid first.
I guess we won't have it.
Right.
But anyway, so today we want to talk about a message I got from Facebook. I was in this Facebook group, and I'll read y'all what it said. It said, "Why are black gay conversations so low level? It's about top, bottom, butch, film, and can't find a man. When I used to be around my white gay couple friends, they talked about buying a summer home in Martha's Vineyard, investing in a second home in France, traveling for a month, entrepreneurial ventures, and having a surrogate for their second child. They also talked a lot about the future very intentionally. If I could get the metrics on the types of posts in most groups that consisted of black gay men, the research would show that most of us stick to low-level topics. It's so uninteresting."
Yeah, that's one of the men that now he date white gays.
I wouldn't jump and say that.
I would. He's pro-white.
You think he pro-white?
Yeah,
Pro-white.
but the one thing that stood out what he said when you read it this time, I actually glanced, did really pay attention to it the first time when you sent it to me, is that he said couples. Mm-hmm. He said white couples. Notice, and there's no shade, there's not a lot of black people in relationships. And maybe because of the low-level conversations that we do have, is some of the reasons why we're not in relationships. What do you guys think?
I think what he said was real. He generalized all black people. Because, I mean, the three of us...
It was very a stereotype.
Yeah, it was real stereotypical. Because do the three of us, do we only talk about butch film, top, bottom, and sex stuff? Like, we talk about other things, too.
You know, I actually prefer to talk about other stuff. That's why I like having conversations with gay men. But like you said, in certain instances, that is the thing outside of the girls glaring at each other and snarling and being snooty or trying to shade or, trying to see who in the room they can have. When you actually have conversations, intellectual conversation with some people, you like, okay, there is more than you than top, bottom, verse.
I mean, I feel like as adults, it just goes to different areas. Like, you should be able to talk about sex. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the conversation should be able to float to, whether it be politics or whether it be entertainment, whether it be wherever.
The thing is, unfortunately, in the gay community, first thing come up is sex.
Right.
Well, even when you're potentially looking for a partner from these apps, that's the first thing people pop up. You get, and that's another. Here's another reason why the apps get on my nerves as well. Because of course, that's not a place where you're going to have. That you're going to run into too many people where you're going to have a intellectual conversation with. It's mainly if you can say, I can send you a message and say, "Hey, how's it going?" You say, "Sup." Right. It's like, okay, here it go from downhill. It's going to go from downhill from here. Then it'll be like, I'm just chilling, watching TV, whatever.
Well, I think dialogue on apps are very different from dialogue in person.
No. And let me tell you how I'm going to translate this to person, because this is how a lot of people speak in person.
Right.
A lot of people don't know how to hold conversations with other gay men. And a lot of times when you are around a group of gays outside of our friendship group, the most of the time the girls are talking about sex and the low-level stuff. And like I said, I kind of agreed in what the guy did say, because a lot of times you do. And when you get into these circles, it's so hard because every time you go into gay circles or people where a lot of gay people congregate, it's all about the shade, the read, girl, she a bottom. Like, it gets frustrating. That is so frustrating to me. I am so sick of this. Like, why degrade somebody for what they like to do in the bedroom because that's just how they receive pleasure? Get the fuck over it. And 9 times out of 10, it be the other bottoms that be shaming bottoms.
Interesting. I don't know. I just feel like it depends on who you're around. Because I've been in a nice bit of gay circles, and they don't all.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I've been in a lot of.
And I've been where you at too, where you be like, oh God, we can talk about this again. And sometimes it's too much about this. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even care to know that about you yet. Right.
That's like what prime example
Like, we
is.
just work friends. I don't need to know all your business.
Prime example is if you get gays in the room and you play this one game, never have I ever. And the first thing people gonna say is something sexual.
But never have I ever is a sexual game. Period.
No.
Yeah.
It don't necessarily have to be.
It always
is.
I play with gays and straights.
But why does it always go to that?
I mean, I don't think that's a gay thing. I think that's just never have I ever. Because we try to get your business.
That's still low level.
But I don't think it's a gay low level thing. I think never have I ever is a low level game. Period.
I feel like you could have a never have I ever quote unquote trying to get to know somebody without asking their sexual position.
Right.
Or never have I ever had a threesome.
You can, but like what I'm saying,
never have I ever jumped out of an airplane.
Right. You can do never have I ever with everything.
But that's the first thing to get. I would say this for most of the gays.
Right.
That's what the first thing they.
But what I'm saying is, particularly with never have I ever, it's not just like.
Or have you ever played Dirty Hearts?
I've never played Dirty Hearts.
That's another game. Right. It's kind of like never have it. It's like basically if you get a heart, they ask you a question,
right.
And the first question they ask you is something sexual.
Also, I want to say that it's not like the straights don't talk about sexual stuff.
No.
Right.
No, but
as if we're having these conversations and the straights are having these articulate conversations.
Don't get me wrong.
Or the white gays, as if they're innocent too.
Absolutely not.
Right.
But again, one thing you did talk about, to get back on topic, is how that privilege also kicks in for them.
Well,
that's the reason why they don't have the same issues that we have as black gay men, because they still white gay men.
Right.
They still white men. And white men have a certain privilege.
Exactly. And that's what I said in my response. I said that, me and my friends, we don't talk about those things, Martha Vineyard and all type of other rich white bitch shit. But we talk about other stuff. Like, that's not the only things we talk about. I said the gay white experience is very different from the gay black experience. You know, they have had the opportunity to be privileged to other things, so they could talk about those other things. Black gay, it's just a whole nother route. Some people don't come into their sexuality until a later age. So they maybe have been suppressing what they wanted to talk about as far as gay sex for a long time, and now they finally got around other gay people. Some people get gay friends late, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different
a lot of people are still very conservative when it comes down to talking about sex. A lot of black gay men are not want to explore different forms of sexuality or sensuality, should I say.
And I couldn't completely disagree with him, because even me and you have talked about how pride, for example, is just over sex. Like,
black
it's nothing
pride.
but black pride. It's nothing but it's sex. And so I couldn't completely disagree
like
with
we
him.
said, to talk about pride, if black pride, the only thing that we see advertised the most is parties and sex parties. Mm-hmm. You go to regular club parties and sex parties. And I'm not negating the fact that white people don't have sex parties. They participate in all the bathhouses down. Mm-hmm. They love that kind of thing. But it's more of the unity, celebrate your pride, the floats, the balloons, the dressing up in the rainbow colors. On Black Pride, it ain't none of that. They have sponsors and all of that stuff.
Well, I don't know why White Pride has sponsors and Black Pride don't have sponsors. That's a whole nother issue. But
again, that goes to white privilege.
Yeah.
See these white gay men and women and some trans women are in these higher positions where they can get their companies to sponsor them.
Yeah, and it has something to do with like wealth as well. They probably see, when most people see white people, they see money. But when they see black people, they don't see money.
But then we say that all the time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think I don't know if we mentioned it in the last podcast, but I said that because every time, especially for black people, and I notice black gays do it a lot now too, first thing they gonna say, I'm gonna go date me a white man because the white man has money.
Right.
And I hate the fact that there is a economic wealth gap between blacks and whites, but there are also a lot of well-to-do black people as well. You just don't know because you're not in those circles.
Right. It's not enough of them to make.
It's not enough of them advertising themselves.
Right.
As the real and wealthy lifestyle.
I mean, white wealth and black wealth are just two totally different worlds. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, to be honest, it's just, and that's what I was trying to say to him. Like, it's just, they're two totally different experiences.
Absolutely.
So you're going to have a different, conversation. And I don't want to make it seem like the white gay conversation is this really sophisticated combo, as if our conversation.
But that's the way in that post. That's the way that came.
That's how he looked at it. Yeah,
that's where it kind of comes off as a self-hating black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, everything that the white people do is so much better than it's so above blacks.
Right.
Blacks, they so ghetto. They just this, they just that. But the white gay can be ghetto as fuck and loud and cunt and bangy, but yet the white experience is so much better than the black experience.
Right. Like he made it seem like we just these oversexed beasts who only talk about sex and nothing.
He's basically saying that they're very, very uneducated and lack of education. And
Right.
That's basically how he said that black people are ignorant. That's all they talk about low level.
Like, he kind of said a lot of things without saying a lot of things. Right.
He said what he said.
Oh, well, yeah. What I'm saying, it was stuff between the lines too.
Yeah, but like you said, no, black people not thinking about going to Martha's Vineyard or things of that nature because we never had Martha's Vineyard money.
Right.
But we'll Miami you to death. But it's just some of those things that we never really grew. A lot of us, not all, but there because there are a lot of wealthy blacks as well. But we never thought about just going to like country clubs and those kind of things. Like that just wasn't on our radar. We more so trying to get out the hood and have a better life.
But my thing is, we talk about other stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, yeah. So
besides love and hip hop,
right,
and housewives,
and I don't even talk about reality TV like that. You know, me myself, and yeah. So that kind of irked me. I was like, what? And he was old. He was like, he had gray hair. He had to be at least a good 50.
He's one of those.
One of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Them Uncle Tom white gays.
You think so?
I know Uncle Tom black gays.
Oh.
Very self-hating gay.
Mm-hmm.
Very self-hating black person.
I don't know.
Because everybody think that the white experience is so much better, and everything that the white people do, they steal it from us.
I think people think,
and they've got all their fucking wealth come from us. They got it off our fucking back, and they set up the system to keep us down, so they continue to profit off of it.
All of that is very true, but I also think that people often forget why they are who they are and why we are who we are. It's like you got to have kind of a self-awareness type thing. Like if you knew who you were and knew who your people were and knew who they were, if you were aware of all those things, you wouldn't even post that question in the group, period.
Well, again, I get it. And one thing, like I said, I have to go back to, which continued to click on my mind, that he talked about relationships. And for us...
And bitch, maybe you need to switch up the people who you hang around.
That too. Right. You know what? It reminds me of the Don Lemon situation.
That's
exactly the same how that post reminds me of what Don Lemon said.
Don Lemon said that when he tried to date black guys, it was he had to be DL, right?
Yes, all black men just want to be DL. They never were out.
And I think he was around Don Lemon's age.
See?
Yeah, so maybe it's that generation of guys who think that way because they grew up around this time when black guys couldn't be, out.
Absolutely.
And that affected the gay experience as a black male back in the early 90s and 80s when he was coming to age versus now it's a totally different experience.
It makes sense because of the age. Like I said, everybody have their different age. He's a little bit older. Their era. He's a little bit older. I also come from where you couldn't necessarily be out loud and proud, but I am also living in an era now where you can.
Right, exactly. So you can notice the differences and see the evolution.
I live in the evolution.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that
because I would have never thought in a million years that gay people would have ever get married. That's just something I never fathomed.
It never bothered me.
It never bothered you because we couldn't do it,
right?
And we couldn't do it.
But I think it never bothered me because I never was trying to get married. More so that,
and also black people most black gays don't really be in relationships enough to get married. I don't think we'd ever get to that.
I know some black gays in some relationships. We ain't all single, okay?
True.
I work for a couple.
True.
Matter of fact.
One of the most popular black gays in Atlanta.
I know a couple of black gays in relationships. I know a nice bit of black gays in relationships.
Okay, new thing. Somebody I was talking to, one of my friends I was talking to, he was...
Especially black lesbians. But
lesbians. That's a whole nother... they get married tomorrow after looking at each other.
Stop.
He was showing me... He sent me a picture of this black gay couple. He was like, I wish I had this. I was like, and there's nothing wrong with wanting that. But my thing is, social media will have you fooled. Don't get fooled by the pictures. Because he's like, I want to be in a relationship for like that to be like a long lasting relationship because he knew somebody that'd be like a 6-year relationship. But I said, but you don't know people don't give you the details of their relationship. We'll use your bosses now for instance.
Okay.
We don't know the details of their relationship. You might know a little bit more of what they ever shared because they've been together for a very long time, and we know them to be together for a very long time.
I don't know their business.
But people will admire them because they this big gay quote unquote power couple, and they got this. They're very popular. They got their own restaurant. They got the Gentleman's Foundation and all these things. Right. But we don't know what works, what they've been through to make their relationship work.
Right. I mean, I don't think we're supposed to know.
But again, people get, because again, our friend Mr. Loneliness be having the people minds a little wrapped up.
Right.
And when people see these photos, it does influence you. Because you start to get depressed and sad because you're like, well, I can't get in a relationship and I want to have a man, and Christmas come up. And like Tony said, he wants, he wish he, the Valentine's Day is coming up.
Me and Tony going Valentine's Day shopping for ourselves.
Right. So Valentine's Day.
I'm okay with that. That ain't got nothing to do with being lonely. I just want to go shopping.
No, and that's cute. But not when you like, Dad, I wish I had somebody to buy this for me because it's Valentine's Day.
Right.
And now I don't have a man. And now you're feeling the effects of, now I'm lonely.
But should you not feel those effects? Should you not feel those effects? Because we have to realize we're getting older. So,
I think you put more pressure on yourself.
So, as someone who is approaching 40, that is a very big deal for me. Because I have the stigma of, I want to get married, I want to have kids. I don't want to be an old parent.
Right.
I want to be able to do stuff with my kids. I don't want to be the parent who I'm 60 years old and my child is in high school. I don't want to be that parent.
Time is running out.
That bothers me.
Well, it's nothing wrong with feeling how you feel because those are your sincere feelings. I don't think it's something wrong with
but
being
the
sincere.
Pressure of that, you put more pressure on yourself, and it may or may not happen. I know a lot of guys who are younger than me who've been in a relationship, and I know a lot of guys who are older than me and still single. So you put those pressures on yourself. I'm actually approaching 40 closer than anybody in this room.
We know.
No shade.
No shade.
No shade.
Because DeShaun the shady. But I'm the one. If out of everybody, I'm the one should be feeling the pressure. Like, I got to get me a man because I'm getting old and I need to get married. Wait, let me finish. I don't have those feelings at all. Like that, and like I said, maybe something in my life that's part of my life right now. It's kind of closed. I'm still open to it, but it's kind of closed for me. And I don't really care. Like, I don't feel like I need a man to complete me. I would like to have a partner. Yes, that's great because I do feel, and I've had this conversation with both of you guys, especially with DeShaun Moore, that because we talk about it because we both kind of be thinking the same way, that being single for so long is kind of unhealthy. Yeah. And I'm so used to it it doesn't bother me. Other people, maybe like you, Tony, and others, it bothers. But to me, it does not bother me. And again, I'm a loner, so I necessarily, like, my whole thirst to have a man, that has, like, I just don't have those feelings.
I would say that it's nothing wrong with feelings. Like, it's like, that's just how you feel. Like, if you feel,
but when you longing for something and it's not happening, it causes effects.
Now, how you act after the feelings is what you can
it causes effects in your mind. I don't care what nobody say. You can be wanting a man, pursuing men out here, and everything does not work. You're going to feel a way. You're going to be angry. You're going to have depression. You're going to have resentment.
Right.
Absolutely. But because most people put those hard feelings into, like, that pressure, I'm going to get me a man. And then you date Johnny. Don't work out with Johnny. Date Ralph. It don't work out with Ralph. Date such and such. They don't work out with them. And now you're mad. And then here we go. Here's where the bitterness sits in. And what's the other word that the gays are? Most of the gays are? Jaded. Here's when the jadedness kicks in. So you have to be very careful. You have to know how to be complete if you get a man or not. Tony says that he wants to have children. If you don't get a man in your quote unquote your time frame, are you still not going to have the children?
What's your cutoff age?
For children?
Mm-hmm.
So my cutoff age for children is 45.
That's not bad.
If I don't have them by the time I'm 45, I'm just not going to worry about it. Because I feel like it's doing a disservice to them as well. Because you have to think about it. You don't want your kids to grow up without their parent. And let's be honest. We don't know the time or the day that we're going to die. My cousin now is 45 and he got 8-year-old twins. And we just found out he got 50% of his heart.
How'd that happen?
So I was telling Will about it when I was down there. I went to see him because he had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
You know, being so stressed out. You know, he got the pressure on him. You know, he was married. You know, didn't really work out. They had kids, and now it's kind of like a strain on him. But, you know, his
kids are alive.
His health and everything, you know, the diabetes, all that stuff, you know, it's running its course on him. And when you feel a certain type of way, as Will say, it does affect you. Because I tell people, me in this whole relationship thing, it affects me. Mm-hmm. It affects me. You know, as well as Will know. It affects me even when I date guys. Like, I got a whole checklist. Like, I can't be bothered with your foolishness. Like, I can't be bothered with you with no fucking job. I can't be bothered with you living with all these people. I can't be bothered with having to come pick your ass up. I can't be bothered. I can't carry your baggage.
You just can't be bothered.
I can't carry your baggage. Like, I need for you to bring something to my life that will enhance my life. Not have me
Tony,
struggle.
could I ask you a question? So when you're dating, now, not relationship, because, you know, y'all girls like to, you know, after a week, y'all be in relationships with folks in y'all minds. So when you're dating someone and getting to know, not even fully dating, when you're getting to know somebody and you notice they live in a house full of people, they don't have a car, stuff like that. It's your responsibility to not to pursue anything further, not to go further with that.
Exactly, and now that's why I got a whole lot of people that's cut off after 2 days, or 1 day, or one date, or one phone call, or one. It continues to be a cutoff
because that's something that you're not willing to tolerate.
I'm not willing to tolerate a lot of stuff, and
can I use this for an example? You met a guy. He lived with, say, 2 other people because he maybe lost his place or he's saving up to get his own place. Would you not still talk to him?
Okay, repeat that.
You met John. John stays with Tyrone and James. He lost his apartment maybe say 3 months ago. He's staying with Tyrone and James, saving up his money to get his own place again. Would you talk to him?
We could be friends.
So you would not date him?
No.
Why?
I would not date him.
Why?
I would not date him because what does he have to offer me? What do you have to offer? What do you have to offer me? I can understand. Let me tell you something. I can understand the intellect. I can understand you like me. I can understand the good heart. I can understand all of that. But let me tell you something. When you're in a relationship or you're trying to get to know somebody and they don't have anything, like you have to pick them up all the time, that's going to be a turn off. That's going to be a turn off.
I didn't say he didn't have his own car.
That's going to be a cut off.
He just staying with his friends to get his place apartment.
And then why you always got to come to my house? Why you always got to come to my house? I don't want you at my house all the time.
I got a question. Would y'all date a Trump supporter?
Hell no.
Fuck no.
Okay.
Because you don't like your people.
That tells me your character.
Oh, okay.
Now it has that. I don't care. Now here's the thing. I don't care if somebody's Republican because your views are your views. Just because you're black, not necessarily you have to be a Republican. Because I myself is more like independent. I choose whoever I feel is the best qualities for me.
Right.
Yet it be outside person, a Democrat or Republican.
Right.
But Trump, you a fool.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nah,
you're
a fool.
So what was the topic idea you had?
How much is too much?
Okay, so that's kind of like a how much is too much. Like, what are your cutoffs? So that can go into another podcast because I feel like we're kind of venturing off into.
Okay, so we're going to end this here and then we'll.
Thank y'all so much for listening. Make sure y'all comment. Tell us what you think about the difference between the black gay experience and the white gay experience. Make sure y'all subscribe and share. And, whether you agree or disagree, let us know. Peace out. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.